Seen that movie?
Welcome back, welcome back. Today is a very special day. Now, sometime around last year, I made a video, more than one, I think like two or three, maybe four. I made like four videos called Two Brothers or Two Kings. First it starts Two Brothers, then it's Two Kings, and then it's Two Gods. Because, that's all the stories from around the world. Each story is another story from another time. Speaking of these two brothers, one's a destroyer and the other's the life bringer. Now, like I say in one of my recent videos, I thought it was about, people. And I've been searching for the two brothers, trying to figure out what it means. Now, everything's biblical in the end, or relate. It is what it is. Now I'm gonna play you the video of a black man explaining what the two brothers are. This has been talked about so far back, it's ridiculous. See, you go back 10 years, and I was 21 years old, starting to get into the knowledge. You add 4 more years from that, I was 25, and I was already hitting the internet, and I was looking up all these things scientifically, showing my friends, and they all said I was crazy or fucking stupid. Then I started studying the Bible and said, I don't care if you believe I'm stupid. The Lord makes me feel something. I feel like something's coming. I don't know what it is. I can't say what it is. Sound the horns. But I know a disaster's coming. So for months and months I planned and prayed and planned and prayed. Eventually, the Lord let my friend out of jail that got innocently accused, and they was gonna rope him up. And when he got out, he got awarded money for it and then moved away. He moved to Florida. Unbeknownst to me, we were still cool. And he calls me up and he wants me to go down there and take a chance on moving to Florida, right? He says, yeah, I'm going to come in a couple of months or whatever, sound the horns. So you will have to make this choice soon. I already seen you go to PA. I know you be doing your thing. Maybe you might, do your thing out there. So I said, all right, bro, like, very strange thing that you say you're moving to Florida, because when I was in PA, I told everybody I was going to move to fucking Florida. But I don't know anybody in Florida. So he made that prophecy come true. And then 3 days or one day after I left and went down, my whole hometown city got flooded by Sandy. And while everybody was flooded and hungry and no power, I was down in the sunshine state, shining, catching a nice fucking tan, laughing at everybody like, am I crazy now? So that's why I don't care how you people think of me or whatever. Now let's jump into this, because this is probably going to be a long one. And I already wasted 4 minutes. So,
As we begin to identify the five heavenly...
Hey, y'all seen that movie? So Greenland, that's gonna be a part of y'all homework. Hey, yo, go watch that joint. That joint's good, man. Like, it's realistic in a way that I can see things going. I'm not saying that this is real, but I'm just saying if something was to hit this planet, right? I think it'll go down like that. These motherfuckers in the movie was like, it was like, yeah, we're gonna watch the particles come down and they're gonna land in the ocean. It's gonna be beautiful. Yeah, look, that motherfucking pebbles hit the goddamn earth. Next thing you know, that's what happened right there. They was like, yeah, excuse me. Oh, Tampa and Orlando gone. You feel me? Like, shit turned up quick. But yeah, that's a good movie though.
signs. Some have passed and those that are to come. In the previous video, we went over number 1, the solar eclipse that occurred in 2017, the next to occur in 2024. Number 2, solar flares or CMEs, which the largest in 100 years documented was also 2017. Now I'll go over the heavenly sign number 3 that was given to us by the Indian Hopi tribes, the Hopi prophecy. Blue Kachina.
Is this man not talking about the very prophecy when I put the biblical prophecy and the Hopi prophecy together and showed you in the video that it's the same exact thing? See, you motherfuckers think I'm playing and thinking I'm saying I'm the only one. My brothers and sisters have been out here and we've been telling you dumb motherfuckers this shit for a long time. And this information is from 2017. He said the next eclipse or whatever solar whatever is going to happen is next year. Did you get ready since 2017? No. So get ready for the Thunderdome.
Red Kachina destroyer. But before that, I'll begin by saying this. The priest and the pastors differed in denomination, but they all agreed that we should not look to the firmament, the stars, the sun, or the zodiac for the unfolding of time.
It's not what the Lord said.
Perish in hell. At the end, they ended by saying, "Thus said the Lord, but thus says you are a liar." So I ask you, pastors and priests, who sent you? Because it wasn't the Almighty God, Yod-He, Vahu-He, Elohim, Allah, or the Lord Melchizedek, Yod-He-Wah, Yehovah, or Thoth in his Egyptian Atlantean name. I ask you, priests and church.
Did he name all the names from around the world of all the names that people called him? Yes, he did. He didn't say the hey thing, but you know, so what?
Churches who mislead the people. What is this? Genesis 1:14. And God said, "Let there be light in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years." Luke 21:25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Luke 21:28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws near. The third heavenly sign, the gradual 7-year appearance of the 2 blue planets called Kachina, until they become fully visible. They started to become visible in 2017 and scheduled to become more visible in 2022. Understand this. The revelation will come through the lineage of the Adamic seed. All knowledge is embedded in our DNA, and at this time, those who have made themselves prepared will get the knowledge of the ancients. And this young brother here, I'll let him give you an intro to the Blue Kachina.
So he just said the Most High is going to go on to the special people that actually believe him, and he's going to give them knowledge, and we're going to be spared, and you're going to wherever you go. Believe me now?
To show you how the Most High works, both our information fits like a glove. Even some of the pictures of the celestial bodies we got from the same place, even though we don't even know each other. I just found it on TikTok.
Blue Kachina is basically something.
You heard what he said. I don't know this guy, and this guy is saying exactly what I'm saying. Oh, he's another brother and sister that got the information from the Lord and been searching and said, you know what, I gotta put this shit out. I don't know if I'm right, I don't know if I'm wrong. And then all of us biblical people, you know, we look at what the conspiracy people say, and then we match it all up and try to show the dummies, conspiracy idiots, that they're keeping you from God, stupid ass.
It is going to come to the Americas and destroy it again. It's going to cause the sea levels to rise, and a lot of people, sadly, is going to perish in that time. But let's look at the Blue Kachina in 2017, then we're going to look at 2021.
Everything's a joke, right? What did I tell you Jesus' favorite colors are? Red and blue. Didn't I tell you Jesus is the Son? The actual Son? You dummies? That's what they're worshiping. They're not worshiping the Father. And Jesus has the red slash and the other one. And he's telling you right now that this destroyer is a blue fucking planet. And the other one's a red one. Do you believe me now? So when you go back and see all my videos in red and black, I wonder if it's me threatening and warning people, my father's gonna fucking have his way with you. Leave me the fuck alone. I got bigger fucking fish to fry. I have people to save out here, you fucking insignificant mortals.
You see the blue spots on there? Reserve. Now let's look at 2022's and 21's version of the Blue Kachina. It came very close. One more for 2017. Now 2022. It's very, very close now. I told you, it's very near, and
you probably can't see that. It's very hard to see.
But it's going to happen. His kingdom is going to come to an end in the Americas.
Okay, now I'm going to go through the story of the Hopi Blue Kachina. I'm going to go through it in a little bit more detail than he did. This is a picture of the Book of the Hopis by Frank Waters. In the final days, we will look up in our heavens and we will witness the return of the two brothers who helped create this world in the birthing of time. Po Gang Hoya is the guardian of the North Pole, and his brother Po Long Hoya is the guardian of the South Pole. So there's two celestial bodies that will become visible that they call Kachina, one at the North Pole and one at the South Pole. In the final days, the Blue Kachina will come to be with his nephews, and they will return Earth to its natural rotation, which is counterclockwise. I'll get to that another time. The twins will be seen in our northern skies. They will come and visit to see who still remembered the original teachings. They will bring many of their star family with them in the final days. So they're not the only celestial bodies that's going to show up.
Now do you see why I say I follow no man? And if you don't have a plan to deal with things like this, who the fuck are you to listen to? If you're still talking about some dumb shit and the enemies and all of this, when you have to face God, just like the enemies, how come you're not telling people, get right with the ancient ways, purify your heart, get all of this fucking chauvinistic, I'm running shit, and all of these ways that they taught us, this way of thinking, get it out of your head, because it don't matter what you think. When they come back, they know who's down and who really ain't. Get it? Keep following these niggas that keep telling you whatever they tell you, because I don't hear much when I listen to other people's videos. These are men that are more knowledgeable than me, yet I'm bringing you all the knowledge of real shit happening now or already happened. They should be talking to you about this, not me.
They're just going to be the first sign as a warning for us to change our ways. The return of the Blue Kachina, who is known as Nangong Sho, will be the alarm clock that tells us of the new day and a new way of life, a new world that is coming. This is where the changes begin. They will start as fires that burn within us, and we will burn up with desires and conflict if we do not remember the original teachings and return to the peaceful ways of life. Now, there are articles describing the return of the Blue Kachina in 2017. This article says on Saturday, February 11, 2017, there was a triple confirmation of these prophecies with a full moon and the appearance of a possible Blue Kachina comet. As of this writing, the blue comet has been visible for 2 months through binoculars, but at this time was only 7.4 million miles away in its closest approach. It streaked across the sky with blue-green head and a long tail. It will be visible until the end of February. And here's an important point. It will return to speak to us again in 2022. Now, we use the government FAA cameras. This is in 2021 at Wolf Creek. And this is night, and you can see...
Wolf Creek? You can see it at Wolf Creek? Really? I wonder if I'm supposed to be over there looking at it. I am the Wolf Guard, you know.
...is visible, or evening.
Fuck
Wolf
out
Creek
here,
again,
niggas.
2021, it's very visible. That's at 15 o'clock. This is in Eek, Alaska. It's visible again. Alaska again at a different time period. Visible again. So it is here, the Blue Kachina. This is the warning from 2017 for us to make a preparation and change our ways and go back to our natural ways of living. And as I said, we will be in conflict within ourselves, knowing we need to change and actually having to make that change. Next is the Red Kachina Destroyer.
Colgate
Yeah, you don't want to talk about the Red Kachina Destroyer, goddamn. Look, man. It's like... Damn, hope my mic ain't too loud. My bad, y'all.
Study has narrowed down where a hypothetical ninth planet could be in our solar system. According to astronomers...
You don't believe me or the black man? How about the fucking news? Will you believe that, you retards?
Planet 9 is expected to be many times...
Look, they be all on news talking about this stuff all of a sudden, but don't get tricked with, don't get blue beamed, y'all. These motherfuckers be playing you.
Do you know what Project Bluebeam is? If you don't, go look it up. I ain't doing a video on it.
You terrified of some shit that ain't real in the sky. Like, gotta know the difference, man. It's a feeling to it.
Oh, really?
Like I said, if they come down with the bullshit, I'm gonna do a live reaction and show y'all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
the size of Earth and orbit the sun far beyond Neptune. The astronomers say that the astronomer is actually the same astronomer who led the campaign to demote Pluto from a planet to a dwarf planet. Now looking to fill that Planet 9 void, the astronomer claims that there's only a 0.4% chance that Planet 9 does not exist.
So we'll get right into it. Our first two speakers are basically going to talk on the subject of Planet X. And we have Mr. Jason Martell here, who has been talking about the Planet X for some time. As a matter of fact, 15 years. Mr. Martell holds regular discussions with NASA scientists on the subject of Planet X, ancient astronauts, and structures on Mars.
He said we were studying this for 15 years, but in ancient texts, they call the planet Nibiru. How many fucking times do I gotta show you ancient cultures on here that keep talking about the stars and that there's more planets and blah 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 blah? Sound of fucking horns. How the fuck don't they know? But they're the ones that go dig all this shit up. But they didn't figure it out. Some stupid ass black guy and some people on the fucking line that never digged up anything. We figured it out? No, nigga. It's pathetic how they can lie right to y'all faces and you to believe that shit. We've only been studying this for 17 years. We study everything since the beginning of time to now, but we only just started looking at this. We have satellites that can see 10 billion light years away, but we just happen to fucking miss that thing. You see how that fucking stupid this shit sounds when you really think about it? These motherfuckers say they can see light years away, but they can't show you exactly a full picture of the fucking moon up close, but you can see 10,000 light years away. How the fuck does that make sense?
Great evidence that has shown that in our solar system, the planet Nibiru passes through our solar system.
The time when Hubble first imaged
17 years ago, they said it didn't exist.
Sun. Now, this isn't our sun.
As we were saying, it exists.
Our solar system, but this planet had an egg-shaped orbit around its star, and that was very interesting to astronomers because that was one of the first times they'd actually seen a planet that had an elliptical orbit, more of like an egg-shaped, elongated orbit. So there's been a plethora of news releases stating the idea that, hey, some astronomer somewhere is reigniting the idea that there is something in our solar system that deserves further study. There's evidence to suggest that there's some large body that maybe has caused effects in the past, and we'll discuss some of those, or could be incorporated into our planetary model now to say, yes, there's another large body out there. So we've seen all kinds of news releases coming out in the media for the idea of a 10th planet. Now where it gets interesting is Zecharia Sitchin. He's 84 and has been studying ancient languages, Hebrew Bible, the Christian Bible, the origins of biblical texts for about 50 years. And in his research, he came across a term called Nibiru. And Nibiru meant planet of the crossing. and it was a planet.
You're telling me one scientist in the entire world studied all things and end up finding the word Nibiru in ancient times, like I just fucking said, and you're telling me all his other buddies that get paid to do this shit, they never figured it out. They never fucking seen this shit. Come on, bro. Who do you think you fucking people are talking? Oh yeah, you think you're talking to my audience and all the other millions of fucking dum-dums that can't listen to somebody and be like, wait up, that don't make sense.
Talked about by an ancient culture, the Sumerians, the first culture we have record of on Earth, and they describe this very large planet in our solar system.
A NASA telescope discovers a massive object orbiting a distant star.
It's not like anything we've seen before.
They knifing people in the middle of the day. You gotta stay on your P's and Q's. That's why I keep a Ninja Star on me. I'm good though.
Focused on Trump's indictment. There's something happening with our financial
I know how to throw it too. Stop playing with me.
System that we will never experience again in our living history. So let's break down some numbers, facts, figures, numbers, logic. I'm going to show you 2 videos, things that were happening this Saturday. I was one of 60 people watching this briefing from Kamala Harris, our vice president, talking about digital inclusion and bringing the public and private sector together as our economy is collapsing. So number 1 is America is at over 130% GDP to debt. Now what does that mean? If we sold all the gross domestic products in America, America cannot even pay off its debt. Since 2008, our debt-to-income ratio has skyrocketed. Number 2, 33% of America's debt is held outside of the United States, and 2 of the top countries are China and Japan that hold U.S. debt. Number 3 is in America, we are a debt-based society. We are the liquidity. Your hard-earned money in America. So every time.
For people that don't understand what he's saying, I'll break it down in regular people's terms. The country's completely broke. There ain't no gold over here no more. In other countries, we owe money to. We don't have anything to give them. Everyone burnt up most of the resources and polluted it, so they can't sell that to them. What's the only thing you can sell after the land? The people. You realize that you're already marked as a fucking slave, you stupid ass. Sound the horns. You people don't get the game. Because like I kept telling you, they used us as the guinea pig and used the prize. See, they want to get rid of us. And they will. But the thing is, they're going to destroy this place and they're going to leave. And anybody that don't want to live in the Thunderdome with all the black people that are loose now, you're going to have to go back to your countries. Except they're overpopulated. So where do you think you're going? You think you're going to go get a job over there? No, they have plans to expand their cities now. Did you know China has a whole ghost town in it? Whole ghost cities? I wonder if they're waiting on you people to come home. Or, you know, some of the people that drop bombs on their fucking people, I wonder what they're gonna do when they get their hands on you. They do own our debt, right? See, I keep saying in all the videos, the Assyrians are coming. That's what the Bible says. Sound the horns. America did a lot of people dirty in the name of other people. And I don't think those people are happy anymore. So all of you people that like to say, I'm American, when they come over here and say, Americans are the reason the world's fucked up and we gotta get rid of you Americans, are you gonna claim to be American then? Or are you gonna say, no, those niggers are the Americans, it was all their idea? Or are you gonna have to bite the bullet and be like, yeah, the way we live destroyed other places? Children suffered because I wanted to have a fucking chain on.
Time a construction worker goes to work, gets his paycheck, here's how the system works. That construction worker takes their money and puts their $2,000 every 2 weeks into the banking system. That $2,000 now, as of 2020, can be lent out 100% Before 2020, we had fractional reserves. They still only had to keep 10%. But since 2020, when that construction worker puts their $2,000 hard-earned money into the bank, 100% of their money can be lent to the next person. So when you're standing in line at the bank to deposit your check, 100% of the people in that line is dead. There's no actual money in the system. Now you're probably like, why? Well, 1971, we detached from the gold standard. The American dollar has nothing backing it.
He says we detached from the gold, whatever. No, Fort Knox used to be loaded with gold, and now that's all gone mysteriously. The government lost all the gold. That's why we're worth nothing. Because mysteriously, all the gold's gone. So now the paper means nothing. Was all your drug dealing worth it? Was destroying your neighborhood and getting all that money worth it? Now you have a bunch of firewood. Are you happy now? You destroyed all those souls, and in a couple of years, all your paper money will be useless. And you'll be right back where all you fucked all those people up. You'll be there. And they'll be awake by now and understand, you motherfuckers destroyed us. You fucking scoundrels.
Right. Here's where the rub comes in. We had dominance. We had power because all oil was traded in U.S. dollars since 1974 with the Petro deal, where we promised arms and protection to the Saudis for trading all oil in U.S. dollars. Well, as you sit right now, as you're worried about shit that doesn't matter, all countries are working to de-dollarize, specifically China and Russia. China went into India and created a peace deal that we couldn't do. China and Russia are working together to create their own currency. In most countries...
Let's not leave out Africa because, you know, there's this guy that I told you guys about a while back that I don't like watching him. But there's an African billionaire and he's talking, building up the United States of Africa. And I say, yo, that sound good. And then I thought to myself, why are you over here then trying to recruit black people to go over there? We're not your people. Oh, I forgot. To create a United States, you need a whole bunch of fucking slave labor to do all that extra work. See, people think the United States got built off of hard work. It got built off my people's back, blood, sweat, and tears, and death. So, how do you create a new superpower? You need someone to rob. You need someone to do all that work and then rob them.
They're done with the dollar dominance. Here's why.
Sure, you want to go to Africa?
Interest rates, it destroys all other economies because we are the dominant currency. So let's put our...
Now, I'm not saying every place in Africa is like this. I'm just saying, like I said in all my videos, it seems like all the other countries around the world keep talking to black men like, come over here, leave the Bible alone, become a Muslim, leave the Bible alone, become this, come over here. Why so many why are we getting invited everywhere? Because they know what's about to go down and they're like, you know, we'll treat you better. Will they though? I don't know. I could be wrong about all this.
Let's talk about food shortages. These shortages are particularly in America, but they're probably coming to a shelf near you, no matter where you are, because we're totally fucked. Say that the 2022 shortages were due to logistics, and the 2023 shortages will probably be due to supply. Let's take a look, shall we?
The one thing we're all already aware of is the infant formula crisis that's already going on, starting in 2022, and no, it's still not over. And apparently all...
You mean the infant formula video that I showed you dumping 40 pounds of it?
Olive oil is going to go scarce in 2023 because there was a bacteria that affected 12% of olive plants, and now we might not get our olive oil. This is a big one. Tomatoes, or